everybody, welcome to another video. Today's video is the ever popular what do you carry in your day pack subject. Now, first things first, there is no short answer on what you should carry in your day pack. There are many factors that change what I carry and when I carry it. There are factors like location, clearly weather, duration, and all of these things decide what you put in your bag and when you take it. Now, that being said, there are some ideas that you can follow that will have you pretty ready for most situations, but the trick is not carrying as much stuff as you possibly can to be prepared. It really is, in my opinion, what can I carry that will get me through and keep me safe, but also make the hike enjoyable and comfortable. When I first started doing this, my day pack video was atrocious. It's actually embarrassing, and I thought about deleting it from the channel. But we learn from our mistakes, hopefully. And I mean, I used to carry things like battery banks, a freaking hatchet, like in a day pack, a hatchet, like in a saw, because I was afraid, oh, what if I get lost? I may need to make a fire. And the reality of it is, you should be familiar with where you're going, and yeah, accidents happen and things happen. People get lost, weather rolls in, but that's really one of the factors in the location thing that we talked about and the when thing that we talked about, right? So first things first, the bag. I use, and I have carried this for many years, an REI Trail 25. So this is a 25-liter bag. In my opinion, for a day pack, you need no more than 25 liters. Some people will carry like a 40-liter bag, and you can certainly get away with that. There aren't any rules against it, but it's just unnecessary. Now, a day pack in my neck of the woods, here in Rhode Island, can be far less serious than, say, a day pack if you were to be hiking in Colorado. That's the location part. So what you really need to get good at is not what do I keep in my bag as a static inventory list, but you need to get good at learning how to pack for different situations. So in this bag, the REI Trail 25, like I said, I've carried it for a number of years. I would highly recommend this bag. I feel like it has everything that you could possibly need in a day pack. The first thing is water, right? We want to carry some water with us. I normally, depending on the hike, will carry 2 Nalgene's full of water. In this case, for small local hikes, like I said, being located in Rhode Island, you don't need a ton. So 1 Nalgene for me is plenty, because most hikes are going to be maybe 6 miles, if that, and generally pass several water sources. So we have our Nalgene, full. And then on this top pocket here, I always have a headlamp. Now, this is one of those things you could probably get away with not carrying. And, you know, do you need it on a day hike? No, you shouldn't. But if you do and you don't have it, you're gonna really kick yourself in the butt for not having it on you. That being said, the reason why I carry some items that are not likely needed is because they don't take up a whole lot of room. My pack is fairly light and comfortable, so I can get away with a headlamp. So headlamp's always in the top pocket, so if something ever happens and I need to get to it, it's easily accessed. Just pull it out of the top pocket there. So that's in that. That's really the only thing that's in here, and we're already into the inside of this pack. One of the things I like about this pack is that it folds down and opens up pretty far. We can see in that, right? We've got a hydration sleeve, but I don't use a bladder most of the time because the water filter that I carry doesn't really work with the bladder all that well. And then outside of the hydration sleeve, we have some of our items, but I like to carry this little, sit pad here, and it's made by Nemo. It's just a folding foam pad. It's much like a sleeping pad, but on a much smaller scale. They're about 20 bucks, super lightweight, don't take up any room. And the idea is, you know, when you stop to have a snack or water, especially when it's colder, you can sit on it. Imagine that, a sit pad that you sit on. But infinitely more comfortable than sitting on the ground, especially if you're on rocks or whatever else. So it's comfortable, it's light, and it keeps your butt warm if it's cooler. After that, this is really it. This is the meat and potatoes of the day pack, okay? This is my oh shit bag. Excuse my language. But I'm not monetized yet, so I can say stuff like that. This is just a cheapo Walmart dry bag. And within this bag, I keep several things. A lot of the things that, you know, you probably won't need, but I carry because it takes up so little room. And the first thing is my water filter. You shouldn't really need a water filter on a day hike around here, but many of my White Mountains adventures, water is very heavy, so I won't carry a ton of it, especially if I know I'm going to go by water sources. So I carry a water filtration system. This works, it's pretty easy to use, takes up no room, super lightweight. This is the Sawyer system. Sawyer squeeze to be exact. So you fill up this bag and you screw this on here, and voila, you have a squeeze bag full of drinkable water. You can squeeze it into another container, or you can drink it right out of the bag. So we have our water system. Then we have, I carry this little emergency bivy. It's one of those space blankets. This one's a pretty good one. I've never used them, and I honestly hope I never have to. But you can wrap yourself up in it, and sort of like a little convection oven when used properly. It will keep you warm, and they are waterproof. They're pretty sizable, so you can build, I don't know if you can see that, many uses. You can build a shelter out of them. You can use them as a blanket, a ground sheet, all that good stuff. So I carry that. And I have a small bundle of cordage. This is a pre-made Ridgeline, and it's got some Prussiks on there, and basically, again, another thing, doesn't take up a whole lot of room. You never know what you're gonna need. So I do carry some things that are probably freakish in terms of worrying. With this and this, you could theoretically set up a fairly small but usable and safe emergency shelter, okay? Let's see what else we got here. First aid. Get a look at that. It's a simple store-bought first aid kit. It's got several things in here. You know, cuts and abrasions, wound care. One of the things, actually I add a couple things to my first aid kits. One of the things is some little Pepto tabs, because the last thing you want on trail is bubble guts, and it happens all the time, especially if you frequent a Dunkin' Donuts like I do. So add some Pepto tabs to it. I also add a small bottle, I can't find it right now, but I add a small bottle of Advil. I always carry Motrin and the Pepto tabs in my first aid kit, and I add extra band-aids to it, because honestly most of the time what you're reaching into your first aid kit for is a band-aid, and you don't want to have to mess up the inventory of your first aid kit and open those sealed packages because you have a small cut, abrasion, or, you know, a blister. So extra band-aids, Pepto tabs, tiny bottle of Advil, and you're good to go. Last but not least, toilet paper. When you don't have this, you will almost always need it. I carry it in my day pack all the time, and I can think of really only like 2 examples, which I'm not going to share with you, where this has saved my life. So very simple. Carry a little bit of toilet paper with you, and you'll be glad you did. Okay, next thing. Waterproof layer for the top. I don't wear waterproof bottoms or carry waterproof bottoms. I have these hiking pants which are water repellent, and they're pretty great. Even if you get caught in the rain, just keeping your core and your top dry, to me, is more important, because the idea is you're on a day hike, and more than likely you're on your way out. You could be starting a hike and it happens, and I just will accept a little bit of discomfort having some wet pants, but I want to keep my core dry, and so I carry this little REI waterproof jacket. It has a hood on it, some pockets, pretty basic, fairly inexpensive, but will make or break a day hike, trust me. And the next thing I have is a packable puffy. So this is a puffy coat, which is really great for fall. I have worn it in the winter time during being active, but it's fairly light, but it packs up into itself. I'm not going to unbundle it right now, but you get the idea. It's a packable puffy jacket, and you never know when you're going to need some additional warmth, especially when the weather turns quickly in places like New Hampshire. So now you end up starting a hike, you have a fleece hoodie on or something synthetic. I always prefer the synthetic layers. You start with that hoodie on or that base layer. You know, you get a little bit chilly when you stop. You throw this on, you unpack this bad boy, you throw it on, and then your waterproof shell, and now you've got a huge range of temperatures that you can be comfortable in because of your ability to stack layers on top of each other and really take up no space in your bag. So really that's it. It's a very simple setup, right? So we've got our bag, first aid kit, emergency bivy, Sawyer squeeze setup, ridgeline, cordage, whatever you want to call it. Pack this bad boy up. That goes in the day pack. Packable layer, insulating layer, packable waterproof layer, headlamp in the top, Bob's your uncle, you're ready for a day hike. Okay, so that's it. So we're all packed back up, and we have our basic ingredients to what I think is a pretty good day pack. The two things that I didn't talk about, first of all, actually I didn't put my sit pad back in the bag, but I'm on it, so that's okay. The other thing is a cutting tool. So I usually put that in with my headlamp in this top pocket with my keys and identification and all that stuff. Headlamp, and I'll carry this little Benchmade bug out. Maybe unnecessary, but if you carry cordage, you better have a cutting tool with you. So I'll throw that in there, and then then your snacks. You don't need to go overboard with a lot of food either. So that's it. Fairly simple day pack setup. You can tweak it here and there for where you're going, when you're going there, how long you're going to be there, and what time you're going, what time of the year you're going. So this is a fluid process. Learning to pack for specific things is really the skill versus, hey, tell me exactly what to put in my day pack. That's not really how it works, and probably not a good idea. So just get good at packing for situations, and you should be pretty good to go. Alright, so that's it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Any questions about what I'm carrying or how I carry it, where I got it, anything like that, leave it in the comments below. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and set the notifications to all, so when I upload videos in the future, you'll get notified and you can watch them. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk to you soon.